Whoa, that just looks fast. Glowing crystals, 90 kilometers an hour. I'm sweating just thinking about that. Definitely needs a wing. It's right here in the bag. We're gonna put that on right now. Much better. What else we got here? A bumper, rear bumper with a wheelie bar. Wow, a buggy with a wheelie bar. I wonder if it's needed. I have no idea. 3S, I wouldn't be surprised. We're gonna go ahead and put that on too, because if it comes with it, there's a good chance it's gonna need it. Owner's manual, and then we've got a foam front bumper for extra protection. We might put that on too, because one problem with these cars is the fact that if you run into anything, there's no bumper. So if you crash either from a jump or into a solid wall, like even a curb, these tires hit well before the chassis and push it that way and potentially break a whole bunch of things. And this bumper is designed to prevent tragedies like that. In fact, they even give you a card that says beginners are required to assemble the upgraded bumper before driving to avoid serious damage caused by improper operation. It's a very nice suggestion, and a reasonable one too. I mean, we're not beginners, but we do crash sometimes, so I might still put that on. I don't know. Battery charger, extra, looks like shock pistons. Maybe, no, those aren't shock pistons. Those are just wheel hubs right there. And wheel hexes and nuts. A complete set of extra control arms, lower control arms, droop screws. And then it comes with axles and your typical tools. This controller looks a lot nicer than the ones I've gotten from them in the past. Almost looks like this is a screen, but it is not. Just a cover for your controls and dip switches. I've never seen a controller with dip switches.
Dip switches.
Even that 22-year-old garage door opener doesn't have dip switches anymore. Anyway, yeah, much nicer controller than the old style they had, which I believe was this one. Here comes the dump truck.
There he is. Watch him. Watch.
Yeah, man.
Oh, honey, how can you pick up that sweat?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. I'm going back to chickens. They like apple slices.
Now, enough about chickens and garbage trucks. Wing seems pretty flexible, so hopefully that'll keep it from breaking. We've got a metal chassis. The owner's manual does show your exploded parts diagrams, so you see how it all goes together and what parts you may need to replace if you have broken any. Oh, also in this video, we are going to build our first dirt track in our backyard. This would be a great car for it. That's not gonna be dirt, and there's really nothing to build. It's gonna be super simple, but it's the first prototype into what we're hoping to get eventually, soon. Definitely don't wanna leave that sticker on there because you want the heatsink to be able to breathe. But it is warning you not to touch it if you're running the car because it gets hot. We've got an ESC with a fan on it. And the fan even says Rlaarlo. So does the receiver.
Cool.
And there's something you don't see all that often. They have a nice dense foam right underneath the ESC. Some well-tuned oil-filled shocks. Well, what else can we point out here? We've got metal tie rods on plastic end links, metal CVDs, that brushless motor, which is a nice lime green, and it's a 3200 kV. That's the same size motor they put in this Hosem right here. Much bigger car. I'm sure they're geared very differently because this does have a lot of power, but that just shows the potential that this thing's got. Not to mention, the thing just looks fast. Kind of has the look of an aggressive bug. Yeah, that's it. And then we've got a nice size battery, 2800 milliamps, which is, it's a 2S, but 2800 milliamps, that's quite a bit bigger than most batteries that you get straight out of the box with a car this size. Oh, and by the way, there's definitely no dip switches on this ESC, so no idea what those are all about. And I also can tell that that's gonna be a really difficult placement for the power button. With the body on, that's gonna be really tough to reach. All right, battery has been inserted into the aggressive evil bug car. I think it's watching me. But now we're gonna build this RC car track I was telling you about. No expense was spared building this track, so hopefully you really do get what you pay for. We've got bumps for added difficulty, and we've even got, oh man, a ramp. It's very hard to reach that on-off button. Got it. After this, we're gonna hit some pavement and a bigger ramp. If we decide we like this little route here, eventually the cars will turn it to dirt. Let's get a little pavement time. We'll do a speed test. This is again 2S, and we'll do 3S as well. Keeps turning on me. Ooh, yeah, nice brakes. I can't keep it staying straight. It keeps turning on me. Yeah, it controls very nicely though. Oh, almost. Well, let's check our speed. Oops, sorry. Oh, and we have a wheel coming loose already too. Maybe that's the problem. 40. Oh, I see. Just had an upper arm pop off, that's all. There we go. Oh yeah, that one's loose. So we had that arm pop out on that crash. Wheels loosening up already. Yeah, they're not very tight. So double check those. Make them tighter, but make sure they all spin very freely at the same time. And it's just, ow. I mean, this is all with a 2S battery. That is insane for a little buggy. I cannot wait to see what this thing can do with a 3S in it. Geez, it's even gonna be able to smash right through a backflip. I don't think I've ever had a buggy do a backflip, especially on 2S. Wow, and this one pulls it off easily. Ooh. That did not look healthy. Yeah, just another tie rod popped out. Or tie rod this time, I should say. Last time it was the A-arm. And she's in there. Woo!
I feel so incredibly bad. Something just happened.
What happened?
I ran over a squirrel.
Oh, yeah.
I've never ran anything over before that I'm aware of.
All life is precious. I hit a possum with my old white truck.
Yeah.
From like several years ago. And like it stood up in the middle of the highway and its face was like right at bumper height.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and that truck had a metal bumper. Oh, that's a wasp. Watch out! Like, go away. There's no, it's just asphalt. There's nothing here for you. It does look like a hornet. Front flips, not so easy. Whoa. I was not expecting it to land that. Oh. So just really quick, we're gonna put a 3S battery in there and we're gonna test its speed. If we can get it to fit, I mean, it's rated for 3S. I mean, it's going in here somehow, don't you worry. And that, it's gonna be fast. It's 40 miles an hour on 2S, which I think is the fastest 2S run that I've got. If not, it's a close second. But I think it's first. But very impressed with 40 for sure. I'm assuming that 3S is gonna hit about 60 miles an hour. They're claiming 90 kilometers. Again, that's probably about 65. You can see it here. But anyway, yeah, so make sure you keep these wheel nuts tight because they loosened up pretty quickly. And then upon checking the other ones, which the right side doesn't usually loosen up on you because the way the wheel spins, it tightens the nut instead of loosens it. You know, all that sciencey stuff. They were not tight out of the box, not enough anyway, so make sure you check those. And also the ESC is coming loose from that foam. I could probably put some super glue in there. My gosh, mailman just brought that. That one should be fun too. That might be the next video. All right, now we've got a 3S battery in there. Yeah, so I pretty much just leave this door open on the controller because I'm constantly having to change the steering trim to get it to go straight. Something's not good there. I imagine it's probably a weak servo, but it doesn't feel like a weak servo. Man, it's got plenty of speed. It walks when it steers against my finger. The servo's not weak. The centering position sensor in their magic thing just may not be working very well. I don't know. 3S. We're still searching for a satellite. Oh, I heard a beep. All right, I think we're good. Jeez. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh, it's a little sick. And this only read 40.6, which is what we got on 2S, so that's not right. Something happened. Let's try a reboot. Oh no. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, I see what I did. We have a little bit of a tweak. First of all, this wheel is pushed back a little bit. But hey, none of the plastic broke, which I'm happy about. But we have a dent in the chassis here, which is where it must have hit really hard. And then we have a little bit of a buckle right there where the chassis kind of pushed into itself. And then we also have a nice taco going on too. Oh man. So that center drive axle should be in line parallel with the motor, and it's like going uphill. Motor flat, drive shaft, center drive shaft going uphill. There's the bend in that chassis. However, I'm not done. I still want to see if we can at least break, let's say 58 miles an hour. But it's not moving in the state that it's in. So we need to do a little bit of de-tweaking. De-tweaking. A de-tweak. That was a hard hit though. It was probably still going 30 miles an hour. I do that a lot. But I don't really forget that little island is in the middle of the street out there. It's just that I don't think about it. No, it's more like I forget how close I am to it. And then I don't hit the brakes in time. I need to start walking further down the street. Holy cow, that's working. we went a little too far, but is it smooth? We might be okay. Of course, it's gonna veer even worse now because the bulkhead is not straight with the chassis. It's leaning that way, leaning over like it's trying to eat a bowl of cereal. Now it's gonna be even harder to keep straight. I think this is gonna help with aerodynamics a little bit. Maybe that's like too many arrows, too many aerodynamics. I'm just gonna leave it how it is. Yeah. Let's adjust our preload too. The rear suspension's a little lopsided too. Temporary solution here. Still a little bit of resistance. Oh, I forgot to turn on the ESC. bet we can get it with this. Yeah, there we go. You can tell there's a ton of resistance, but it's might be good enough for another speed test. Whoops. Look at our new grass. Tweaked chassis. Holy cow. All right, there's 50. I still think that speedometer is not quick enough for it. All right, well, I think we got a little more out of it. Now that it's been de-tweakified, it's working okay. You can tell that the suspension's certainly not right, which is to be expected, being that the chassis looks kind of like a spiral. It's slightly turned down to the right in the rear, and it's mostly straight in the front, minus, you know, it looks like a taco from the side. Luckily, I like tacos. But you can tell that really, really easily this right front lifts up in the air under acceleration. You lift up in the middle, and that front right tire, which is this one, lifts up well before the left. That's like 3/8 of an inch, which is like 9.5 millimeters. Tweakage. It's tweakage. But really, I mean, going any speed. Let's, you know, we reached 50 with our GPS speedometer thing. Probably was going at least 55, but that thing is slow. So if you pull it too fast, it wheelies like an absolute mad machine. I feel like it, oh, my battery turned sideways. It is hard to get a 3S battery in here. There are probably some that are made to fit in here, but it's just with the way this ESC mount is, which my glue did not come undone, there's just not a lot of space right there. So yeah, that was a fun car. And then with the speed, yeah, I think we probably were able to get more than 50, which is what our speedometer said. I don't like that speedometer. I'm going to get a better one eventually, because I think it always under reports the speed, because it's really made for bikes. And without a really large runway, you can't hold the top speed for very long, so it just the speedometer never catches up, because it's relying on signals from a satellite, and those are actually kind of far away, and it just takes time for that to refresh rate. Maybe that's what it's called. It's called that on a lot of other things. And also, that was a lot of stuff, and a lot of things happened to this poor car. Tweakage. We had one upper suspension arm pop off, and then we had one tie rod pop off, and they just pushed right back on. That was it. You know, besides the chassis, nothing else broke or bent or anything that I can see. I don't see any wobbling axles, which is actually kind of amazing. You can see it right there. The center drive shaft definitely has a little bit of a banana to it, but that's kind of going to be expected, being that it basically got cometed right into a curb. Also, I noticed that this transmitter looks a whole lot like this one from Dumbo RC. It's got a different base. But anyway, I'm supposed to be reviewing this pretty soon, but this almost kind of is a review for it. I liked this remote. I still don't know what the dip switches are for. Got a little damaged in its shipment journey across the 7 seas. Oh, ooh, cool. Wow, that's a big receiver and a tiny one. Holy smokes, I should have opened this already. I feel it's very light because it doesn't have the big base on the bottom, and yeah, it still has dip switches too. Anyway, I'm going to put a link to this remote in the description. because it's probably pretty much the same as this one. This looks like a really awesome kit. Dumbos, I really like Dumbo RC transmitters. I use them on most of the cars that I've upgraded. So yeah, I like that transmitter way better than their old ones. Oh, I just noticed that the screw underneath that servo saver, it is gone. It's supposed to be right there. You know, probably because of the crash. Now, a lot of times I say 3S is too much, and I don't think that 3S was too much for this car. It was really fun. Even with the tweakage, it was really fun. Actually, funny enough, that almost added to the fun because I was able to fix it and make it run again, kind of. And then it was like tweaky, so it was harder to control, but still very controllable. So yeah, it was fun on 3S. It was fun on 2S. What was it, 40 miles an hour on 2S, which is amazing. Let's say we probably were getting 55. I can't guess. I don't want to say that they're wrong. I mean, no one ever posts an accurate speed rating on their box. So most likely it's not hitting 90 kilometers an hour. I just now did the math in my head. It's not 63 miles an hour. It's 55.293. 90 kilometers an hour is 55.293 miles per hour. We probably got that, actually. So that's because with that resistance and all the things that happened to it, which is like trying to run a marathon with a broken knee, I feel like, it hit 50 point something. Yeah, it probably got more. So, you know, and the slow refresh rates and all that. So, actually, pretty accurate, I'd say. Yeah, good for you guys, Croboll and Rlaarlo and Armadillo. So I like this truck. I recommend it. It was fun. It was a lot of, and I really like the shape and the looks of it. It's different from your regular speed buggy. It looked like an evil bug, remember? I don't like the fact that you have to keep adjusting the steering trim. I mean, it was literally like every couple seconds. It was constant. So if you can look past that, or maybe there's just something wrong with this one, obviously that happens. Thing is, we've reviewed over 40 RC cars with plenty more to come. And I don't think I've had a single one that didn't have at least one flaw. So I wouldn't let that turn you off from buying it if you really like the car otherwise. But just keep in mind that maybe yours is going to have that problem too. Maybe it won't. And maybe it's a super easy fix like a servo. A lot of servos that size cost like $11 to $15 for a decent one. Oh yeah, and cool enough, I'm pretty sure this is the first buggy we've been able to do a backflip. I know we've been able to do front flips before. This one, I only tried it once, but it got backflips pretty easily. That's tough for a buggy with lightweight tires. Very cool. Haircut, links in the description. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Share this video with people who you think just might be interested. And we've got another one coming up really soon. Tweakage. It's tweakage.